Hello again, and welcome to Realities May Vary, the podcast that does what it wants, when it wants. We will not be told by the man when we start, when we end, what we do. We do what we want. I'm Brian Noonan. He's Cody Gough. You are you. Welcome. Happy belated Father's Day. Look at you in a suburban golf shirt. You are. That's 2 weeks in a row. You have embraced the suburban dad look. Very nice. It looks good on you.
I just forgot to change after work. Is what it did.
Wow, that as a man who is going to the Emerald Island in just a few months, that impression you just did triggered me, offended me, just made me want to put a pen in your eye.
You didn't like my German accent?
No. Was it German?
No.
No, it was, you were trying to be Irish.
It was Italian.
Now, why do you have to wear a polo shirt to work?
I don't. I just like to dress the part of someone
of management
with goals.
Wow, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting here in a t-shirt.
No, my company is really casual. The CEO never wears a collared shirt. It's t-shirts all the way. Graphic tees a lot of the time. COO, same thing. I'm the only one, but I take leadership to another level, Brian. I believe that a leader should try too hard. And I do try too hard at everything I do. I try to be funny. I am a try hard. I've been described as try hard with a vengeance. So
wow, that is impressive. Sure, I can see it. Your shirt inspires loyalty, and it makes me say this guy could lead me.
Yeah,
because he knows how to put on a polo shirt.
It inspires and ignites. It ignites.
Yeah. All right, sure. Ignites what? Fury?
Yeah, something like that.
All
I'm
right.
trying to get my camera settings.
Your lighting keeps going up and down because your background at first looked violet. Now it looks a deep blue.
You're turning violet.
Ugh.
That's all I got.
How are you doing? How are you doing with the background? It looks good. Well, now you just did something to it.
It's not the background, it's my face. I look like I was like Casper the Ghost. Not the friendly one, the jerk. Casper the jerk-off ghost.
Did Casper have a jerk-off twin? Did he?
Could have been. I don't know. I don't watch those. I don't follow that category on the Pornhub. But what I can say...
Wow, is that a thing?
Casper
is ghost porn a thing?
Yeah.
I know clown porn is a thing.
Now I'm really curious if ghost porn is a thing. But
where are you going to look that up? You're going to NSFW.
Just like that time I started an OnlyFans on the show.
Did you do that on the show?
Yeah.
Just for your feet?
No, because we were talking about what is OnlyFans, and then I said that we would just sign up live, and I made an account, and then we learned that OnlyFans is literally just Twitter.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just porn. Isn't that it? Is there anything on OnlyFans other than porn?
I think so, but it's the exact same design as Twitter. Very strange place.
I don't know I don't follow anyone on OnlyFans. I don't give anyone money on the internet. So I have nothing. I know that anytime I hear of OnlyFans, it's women selling pictures of their butt and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, or much more graphic. So I really don't know much. I don't know what to do. Sylvia loves your shirt. She wears it all the time.
This specific shirt.
That specific shirt.
That's incredible.
The
I was
orange
wondering
is that a navy or a black stripe on that shirt?
This is blue. This is a red shirt with a navy. It's red. It just looks orange in the camera, but it's red in real life.
Listen, all right. Call me a liar. Pretend I'm a dog. Yeah, I see. See how you're coming out. Your yes and is way off today.
This is why I tried to change my saturation. Now we'll just go black and white. Then we don't have to worry about it.
Black and white. Yeah, it's all just like you see the world. We should see you on the video.
That's
everything
how
is black and white.
That's how I see the world. I am looking forward to you bringing up topics based on my Twitter feed to jog my memory, since I never remember what I've tweeted about.
I know you. I did see some of your tweets today. You had tweeted about. I forget what you tweeted about, but it was something.
That's the Mark Cuban thing.
Yes, it was the medicine. Mm-hmm. So wait, so what's the deal? Mark Cuban is getting into pharmaceuticals?
I just saw a tweet. I have not verified this, but Mark Cuban tweeted it, and it had like more than 250,000 likes. So
and it had his blue check mark. So it did come from his verified account.
apparently Mark Cuban started a pharmaceutical company that only takes a 15% profit, that only marks up the price of the drugs 15%, which covers logistics,
Yeah,
supply,
just the
basically
cost of
covers their
doing business, not a lot of
exactly
profit.
cost. Right. Versus the like $85,000 or 80% markups that the pharmaceuticals companies do. But you can buy like he's trying to get like more than 10,000 drugs on there.
Yeah.
There was one where it was like for a 3-month supply of an antidepressant, pharma companies would charge like $900 and he would charge $2.
See.
So that seemed cool. So I went to the website, checked it out. They don't do insulin. I think there's specific regulations and restrictions that would make it hard for him to produce insulin. But
Okay.
antidepressants, some cancer drugs, some diabetes pills, a lot of
Oh,
other pills, you
yeah.
can just buy for like pennies, like fractions of pennies to the dollar. And I found that cool. So I retweeted it. I
Yeah,
can
I saw
find the
you
website.
retweeted it, and then somebody had because they had also there was also the tweet about somebody tweeted that he had saved his life. Mark Cuban saved his life by him being able to get the drugs that he needed at a price that was affordable,
Yeah.
rather than we see these stories all the time about people who have to decide between their rent or food and their medicine, so they're taking like half their doses and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the
I mean,
website.
we're very lucky. Our insurance covers all our pharmaceuticals,
Oh,
which
sure.
thank God. But everybody's not in that. I think I pay $2 for my antidepressants every month out of pocket. I'm like, oh, $2. That's really depressing.
I can't find the URL anywhere. This is really it's costplusdrugs.com.
That's what. Yeah, I was like, Cost Plus, isn't that a store already?
I know. I guess his model is based on generic drugs, which are sold by manufacturers to distributors for very low prices,
Okay.
which is why it wouldn't necessarily work with insulin because whatever. But someone else says he understands the business plan is for him to manufacture the drugs himself in the U.S. But I don't know. I don't know. I've like I said, I haven't really fact checked this. All I know is end of the day, there are hundreds of drugs that he's selling for dirt cheap compared to what pharma companies charge them
Yeah, and
for
it
them.
looks like on his homepage that he's selling the generic of Prozac instead of $22.94 for the retail price. He's selling it for $3.90.
Yeah.
Or so
There
yeah,
was
that was I'm excited about that.
There was one that was literally like $8,000 for a month's supply. He was selling for like $80.
Well, this is generic for Vanosin HCI, which I'm not sure what that treats, but the list price $679.04. He's selling it for $32. That's quite a savings, Cody. That's a markdown of about, and my math could be off, almost $650.
Wow, I certainly wouldn't want to overdose on not paying for that deal.
Think of all the crazy stuff you could do with that extra money.
Yeah, more drugs.
More, yeah, you could. Man, we could afford more drugs.
You need to
Well, give me some sort of give me a disease. What do you got? What do you need drugs for?
cowbell.
Cowbell. I'll go to the C's. We got colonoscopy preparation, constipation, cough, and cancer.
Let's do cancer.
Let's not do anything where we're well. I guess how about we don't joke about
It's a
make
public
jokes about
service.
some. It
I
is.
thought you
All
were
right.
gonna read me the savings of the drug. Now I'm
I
in
will.
trouble. Go
I
cough.
will. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Now I don't know cancer medications, but there's 4 of them on here. So the generic for Trexall, let's just say, the retail price is $86. Their price is $13.80. Here's one. I think you'll like this savings the best, Cody. This is the generic for Gleevec. It's a tablet. The retail price $2,502.50. What do you think Mark Cuban's Cost Plus is going to sell it for?
$42.
You are a price gouging psychopath. You're a man who tries to benefit off the ill will and misfortune of others.
It's true.
You polo shirt wearing elitist, pompous dork.
I know.
No. $14.40.
And it usually costs $2,500
That's a savings to you of $2,488.10.
and about 99.7%.
You heard that. You heard that right.
That's, yeah. I'd
You
buy that
heard-
for $1. There you go, Mike. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, dude.
So there you go. Yeah, they're adding new medications all the time. He says there's a spot on there that says, "Hey, if you don't see your medication, tell us the drugs that you're looking for, and we'll see if we can get them to make them available to everybody." So if this takes off, one, good for Mark Cuban, and in an unbelievable way, but also good for us, good for people, and bad for the big pharma companies who, I would imagine, if word gets out that something like this can be done and somebody else with a lot of dough decides, you know what, we can do this too, because, just to be good citizens.
Nope. What they're going to do is they're going to lobby lawmakers to pass legislation that makes it illegal or harder.
Oh,
Guaranteed. That's what
probably
will happen.
Yeah, they'll
Insurance
make it so you can't
companies-
buy medication online.
No, pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies do not care about you or making you healthy or making people healthy or helping people feel better. They care about making money more than anything else. And that is the way that it is. They suck and they will make it worse. But temporarily, Mark Cuban is making it better for some people. So I agree. Good for him.
Yeah, as long as it keeps going. They have everything from acid reflux to allergies to prostate problems, restless leg syndrome, sleep aids, seizures, smoking cessation medicines.
Yeah.
So they got everything.
Well, and maybe they'll keep it legal in the good old country, the United Nation, the United Cities of Texas, of Tejas.
Yeah, they're going to secede. Did you see that?
Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Yeah, rootin' tootin', I'm gonna secede. I shouldn't do accents, but I got to do something to make fun of Texas as much as possible.
Well, they want to secede, and I've been to Texas enough times to say, okay, see you later. For all that's good, if I want to go to Texas, I have a passport. I can go. It's not a big deal. I'll still be able to visit if I want. Go to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Maybe I go to Fort Worth. I go to Billy Bob's Country Bunker, dance around a little bit. But yeah, you'd still be able to go. But good. There was a lot of stuff on their list besides just secession. They want to make they want to make everything illegal. They want to take away the Voting Rights Act. They want to they just want to be, I don't know, a hillbilly redneck haven where stupidity reigns supreme.
Yeah. You say that I feel a little like
Why?
we're being
Have
a little
hot take.
we're being a little ableist, Brian, frankly.
How are we ableizing?
Well,
them?
because what and I don't know how to put
what
this.
did we do? So put it gently. Put it
I
bluntly.
don't know how to put this delicately, but the thing is, the lawmakers in Texas that are proposing to secede,
Yeah.
they think that word means succeed.
Oh.
Yeah, they want Texas to succeed. But so they drafted legislation to succeed, and there's actually a difference. It's subtle. It's in it's nuanced, but secede and succeed are there's a difference.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be troublesome then. If they're just their bad accents and illiterate nature is driving them to not know the difference between succeed and secede.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's going to break it to them?
Well,
Who
nobody.
Who do you think's going to say something to them?
Well, the problem is once they succeed from the union, they're not going to have any electricity.
They barely have electricity now.
So they're not
got their own. Maybe that's why they think they can do it. Hey, we got our own grid. As long as it stays above 60, everything is copacetic.
But you know what? They got guns. They are going to be the North Korea of North America.
They're just a lot of guns.
They're going to become this darkly, dimly lit place with no electricity, where the leader,
the entire state is in sepia tone.
Yeah.
Everything it's always kind of dusk. Doesn't matter what time of day. Like, oh, are we in Texas? We must be. Look at the grand panoramas.
Yeah. Mike,
Sally says the U.S. is going to take back the military bases, the Houston Space Center, and that's it. Texas can take care of the border.
Well, then Texas is going to build a north border because they're going to have to keep out the people from the south of them and Americans, those dumb Americans,
Right. And, there's a lot of people in Arizona that may want to sneak over to Texas. There's people all over. I drive through Oklahoma toward the Panhandle. It's going to be fortified. I'm not going to be able to just drop by the Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo anytime I want. Anytime I'm zipping along, I'm going to have to go through border checks, and there's going to be guys with big chaw in their mouth going, "Where are you from? Can I see your papers?" And I'll go, "What? I'm just from over there, U.S. Oh, you people don't succeed over there."
The worst thing is, those aren't even border agents. Those are just regular Texans with nothing better to do.
We got done putting air in our giant monster truck tires, and now we just got to drive around with our gun racks. And are we stereotyping everyone from Texas? You bet your ass we are.
But they're white.
I have been all
it's
over
fine.
Texas. I have been to all the big cities. I've been to small towns. I've been on the border. I've crossed the border. I've come back. So I know Texas.
And they're white.
We're not way off. Yeah.
No, they're white. They're white mostly. Many of them.
Well,
the ones we're making fun of are white. They're Republicans,
yes,
so they're white.
Sure,
so we're making fun of
they're white old men. That's
the white old men in Texas. So it's like they're not a protected class.
Sally's been to the Big Texan Steak Ranch. I wonder, Sally, did you try the challenge? 72-ounce sirloin, the shrimp cocktail, the dinner roll, the salad. If you can eat it, I think you have to eat it in an hour. You get your name on the wall. It's like 2 giant roasts. It's ridiculous looking. And then it's one of those jarred shrimp cocktails. You ever see those when you go to the store? Probably not, because you don't live in Texas. We can get seafood here because we're not afraid to bring things in from other places. But it's just like basically a jar of cocktail sauce with a bunch of tiny bay shrimp jammed in it.
I've got a friend who in one of my my group texts, and he just hates Texas and everything about Texas. So anytime Texas is in the news specifically, I may not know what's going on in Florida when, governors are declaring war with Walt Disney World. I may not know what's going on anywhere else in the world.
You really don't know, but Texas, you're on top of it.
Texas, I am on. I have a live feed. Texas, and anytime cryptocurrency, anything bad happens, because my friend he almost got a PhD in economics and then changed or dropped or something. But he's an
economic. Weird. I almost got a PhD in economics.
Oh, yeah?
And then I failed economics as an undergrad, and I went there. Well, I guess I'm done.
Did you study did you want to study economics?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I failed that was not a lie. I did fail one class, and it was economics.
That's fair. But yeah, crypto not doing great.
No, I think of you every time I hear the bad news about crypto, but I'm not a guy who likes to rub it in. You spent a lot of energy learning all about this crypto thing. Could turn out to be for naught.
No, well, I'm net. Maybe I'm net negative now, but I don't.
Did you get out yet, or are you going to get out, or are you going to stay? You going to hold?
It's a long hodl.
Hodl.
That's the nomenclature in crypto land. Is some guy misspelled hold, and he's like, you always got to hodl, HODL.
Okay.
Swapped it, and so that's the whole thing. There was a rap song called "Hodl Gang" that I think was on like John Oliver's show or someone else. It has like "Hodl Gang," or maybe it was just some hip hop song on YouTube. But yeah, you got to hodl, Brian. Look,
you got to hodl it down. All right, hodl, man.
Yeah, I haven't lost tens of thousands of dollars that I could have realized if I'd cashed out in the last 6 months. Sure, but I didn't have those tens of thousands of dollars to begin with because I got in early enough, so I'm not too worried about it. It's kind of sad, but I figure it'll come back at some point someday.
Do you have a line in the sand, or if it gets down to a certain point, or by now you're in, you're holding?
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. There's a certain point where I'd sell probably next time.
Yeah.
Like if it went up to like 70K or 100K, I'd probably get out then, because I would need. I mean, I haven't needed the money either. Like I've got like
Right.
fiat US dollar savings and stocks and stuff. Like I
Wow,
don't.
look at you with the
That's
flex.
yeah, that's the real money I
Got with all kind
consider.
of
But
money. Yeah.
Mike did say hopefully your NFTs are still okay. I never bought NFTs. I was always upset. I was upset for about a month that I never got into NFTs because there are so many. There were so many like kind of borderline legitimate ways to make money off of it if you knew supply and demand well enough. Many scams you could participate in, and I was kind of like kicking myself because I could have just like gotten millions of dollars. But
Could you have though, or was it all? Is it all smoke and mirrors? Because
I
now
could
that
have.
now that's kind of dwindling as well.
Oh, wait, that's just garbage. The whole thing is
Yeah.
garbage. I mean, the whole thing was garbage, but there was a good supply and demand ratio of scammers to people that want to make a quick buck so that the economy was good. But then I think eventually enough people tipped over the edge and realized how much of a scam it was and how bad it was of an idea to try to make a quick buck. They exited. All the scammers didn't have anywhere to sell, so the whole thing just tanked.
Yeah.
Also, in the interim, there were like a lot of thefts and like bad code written where people were just going in and scooping up hundreds of millions of dollars of Ethereum and NFTs from other
Oh,
people's
jeez.
wallets. So like
Nice.
I think I dodged a bullet there. I would have had to just like devote all my time to sitting on Discord all day, like trying to do the mental calculations and get in the scams at the right time. It is no.
See, it's so much easier not to have any money because then it's just like whatever, you know.
You can move to Texas.
No, because I'd never succeed. I'd never succeed in Texas. I would never would. Yeah, they just want to be able to. They want to be able to succeed. They want to take everything back to. Yeah, listen, Mike. I lost my ass on Beanie Babies. I'm not gonna lie to you. We took a bath. That was my one big. And it wasn't even me. I just went along for the ride with Debbie. But I was a co-conspirator. There's no doubt about it. Oh, we were gonna make all kinds of dough on these Beanie Babies, like every jackweed suburban mom. And yeah, nothing, nada. I don't even know if we have any. I'm trying to think if we even have any in the house anymore.
You told that story on the podcast one time.
Did I? How we probably. It's just Mike
how
asked.
You unironically, not jokingly, did you were in the beat? You and Dad would drive around to McDonald's and stuff, right?
Yeah, we weren't as crazy. Like I never went to the like convention things. Debbie went to a couple, tried to sell some stuff. We did when I was on the road. I would stop at every little pharmacy and thing trying to find the elusive Beanie Baby that we didn't have. There was a place in Augusta, Georgia, a little gift shop that I found that usually I could, I'd call home when I was there and I go, what do we need? Do we need this or this? Yes. Or, I was in somewhere in, I think in Kentucky, like in the hollers of Eastern Kentucky, in this tiny little town. And I went into a drugstore and I found a couple that we needed because it was going to make us money. It didn't make us money. I would sit up at night and watch these two guys on QVC these two guys who went from selling knives and guns to selling Beanie Babies. And I would lay up at night watching this, doing it. That's where I was like, forget it.
Wow.
Live stream at Gator America. Yeah, the Disney brother and sister. That's what we need.
I got to turn my fan on, and I lost my remote from my fan.
Actually, you have a remote control fan? Man, you're made of money. You're a guy with do-re-mi.
I'm going to hit a button. Hold on. All right. I'm
close by. Button. Yeah, I've seen these guys. Vince.
I don't know if that'll actually help. I just needed some circulation in here. I don't know if you heard this, Brian, but it's hot.
It is hot. You know how long I left the house for today in this heat? Less than a minute. Ooh. After dinner, I walked out to the alley to throw out the garbage. The rest of the day, I did not leave the house. We kept all the blinds closed. We lived like mushrooms today, except it was not steamy and humid in here. It was nice and cool because we had everything closed. Debbie was off today because of the Juneteenth holiday, and we just did stuff in the house. Did laundry, did some work on the computer, did some things. How old did I just sound there? That I did some work on the computer. I did some work on the computer. I went on the World Wide Web.
I gotta ask you, I gotta ask you. Speaking of, well, there's a couple things to unpack here.
We got a lot to get to.
I haven't left. I also got to take the trash out. I got to remark about my air conditioning. I'll make that first.
What happened to your air conditioning?
Well, does yours work well?
Yeah. Ours is actually new. It wasn't last summer, the summer before last, the old one went, so we got a new one.
Yeah.
Gidget's very happy about it.
Losing his mind.
Gidget is, she's excited. She doesn't like when I talk about things breaking because she thinks about her hip. And she has not broken her hip, but I don't know if she wants to. She doesn't. You hear she's got a lot to say. I know, buddy. What's the matter? Do you want to go downstairs? Do you want to go downstairs? Okay, hold on. I gotta let Gidget out. She wants to go downstairs.
All right, that works.
As you can hear from her.
Okay, usually he turns his camera off. He's just going for it. I guess he's just gonna open the door. That's fine. I'm gonna ask it. I could preview the question I'm gonna ask him, or I could just wait 5 seconds for him to come back. Riveting audio. He's already back. We'll just go.
The beauty of the live broadcast.
It's beautiful. Are your headphones back on already?
Yeah.
That was quick. So
I don't mess around.
Last night, we go in our bedroom. We got a separate air and heating unit for our bedroom, and her library office are above the garage, which is a newer addition.
I was going to say that was not part of the original house, correct?
Correct. So there's a whole separate unit. So I flick on the air and I start hearing this high-pitched sound, and it was like, what is that? And then I was like, oh no, it's the AC. So I listen, and it's just like, and she was like, we got to turn off the air. Now I look at the thermostat. It's 78 degrees. I need it to be 70-ish.
Okay. Is that what you keep your house at, 70?
No, but to sleep, I need to be comfortably cold.
I got you.
And so I went outside. Brian, you'd be proud of me. I took a big stone, a 6x6 inch stone. I banged that sucker 3 times, and it shut up. Good as new. It worked for the Flintstones.
I love impact maintenance. That is fantastic. Did you just go, it can't get any worse, so I'm just going to bang on it?
It was just a noise. I figure something's loose and squeaky. I'm just like, what the heck? It worked for the Flintstones.
Were you standing out there? I picture you just in your underpants, just out there with a big rock hitting your air conditioner.
I was actually terrified to go outside in my flip-flops because I know there's a raccoon living under our porch again.
Maybe. What if it was the raccoon in the air conditioner getting wound up, ground up? And you're like, shut up, raccoon. Thwap. And knocked it on its noggin. He was trying to crawl out of the the enclosure of the air conditioner, and you just whacked him.
Wow. Well, for a little audience participation, please feel free to throw in your best story of a time you just hit something and it started working again. Brian, I'm sure you've got one.
Just last week, we don't use the ice maker on our refrigerator. It's not, it never, and last week we're watching TV and we hear this high-pitched whine, just like you, a high-pitched whine. I'm like, where's this high-pitched whine coming from? I go in the kitchen. I'm like, what? I open the freezer, and all of a sudden the high-pitched whine is amplified exponentially. It's coming from the ice maker that we don't use. I'm like, what? So I pressed on it just lightly, and it stopped. And I'm like, okay. And I took my hand away. It started again. And I tapped it, and nothing happened. I put my hand back on it and pressed a little. It worked. So then I punched it. And it stopped squeaking. There's all kind of, that my desktop, the one I'm talking into now, sometimes will start making a noise. And I take my hands on each side and there we go. And I just thwap it like that, both hands, thwap. And all of a sudden, I got no more sound. Everything is Jim Dandy. And I don't know if I don't know. What am I? Some computer nerd? I don't know what's going on in there. I know that I give it a quick smack, stops making noise, and then we go on with our business.
You're a computer nerd when you're working on the computer.
I like to work on the computer when I'm not watching the cable. That's what I do. Sometimes I do that. because, because I'm old and I went out to dinner the other night with two friends of mine, and it started out with us going, are we going to spend the entire night talking about our health maladies? Because everybody there, the three of us, all have like a laundry list of health things of various degrees. So we had to stop that and talk about other things, because we had become every group of old men you see sitting around somewhere going, oh, and then my bursitis kicked in, and oh Lord, my nuts don't work, and I dropped it's just horrifying. So yes, that being said, I'm going to get the results of a CT tomorrow that I had done on my wrist last week. And I'm reading it because I got it. They send me the results too. And I'm reading, you know what this is from? This is from, and I'm not exaggerating. It's my right wrist. It's from years and years of banging stuff with my right hand, banging the steering wheel, punching things. So right here on my right wrist, it's all arthritic. There's a tear in the tendon. The bones are rubbing together. And it's from years of just smacking stuff. So now I have to learn to punch everything with my left hand. Wow. Yeah, I've lived a life that is now catching up with me. A lot of bad decisions.
I had a girlfriend in college that severed a nerve in my hand from biting me.
She bit you?
Yeah.
Like in the throes of passion?
No, we
were. Or were you attacking her and trying to cover her mouth? Shut up!
We were somewhere in the middle. We were play wrestling. And then I told her to shut up, and I covered her mouth. No, we were play wrestling.
That's a boy.
And she got mad at me, or didn't. I don't know. She was a feral ex, and she just like bit me like right around. I was about to instantly. I put my pen down. Like right around the kind of where the thumb connects to the wrist, basically, and it severed it, and I couldn't feel the left side of my right thumb for about a year. And I didn't know if it would, like, the nerves would grow back or whatever, but I got a feeling back. It's fine now, but yeah, that was legit.
How long did you date her?
Through college.
After she bit you?
Oh, that was sophomore or junior year. I dated her through senior year on and off.
Really?
I went to a small school, Brian, and I crapped where I ate. I dated within the music department, within the saxophone department.
Did it like, would you go below third chair?
No, dude, I was in a saxophone quartet with her at one point.
Wow.
Because I'm an idiot.
Was biting the least of the problems that the ladies in the music department had? Did the men in the music department compare notes and go, she's stabby. This one, don't date her. The clarinet players, they have knives. And the oboe player one time tried to strangle me. So if you've just got a biter, you're good to go.
No, the flute players were too hot, and the clarinet players weren't interested in me. So I defaulted to the sax. And there were no other. Well, there were lots of other women, but they were the only ones that talked to me. But no, she was fantastic. I actually liked her a lot. She's pretty cool, generally. But you can't get away from an ex. You end up kind of going in and out a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, she's right there. I got you. You're here and there. Yeah, I don't think I ever had one. I've told you I had one throw a brick at me in my parents' backyard. Told you about that ex.
A saxophonist?
No, to my knowledge, she didn't play a musical instrument. Except a skin flute. Good morning.
I have to go. I have an engagement. I have another engagement.
With a mature human?
No, I would never interact with one of those. I have another Apple charger up here. What? Where did that come from?
What are you
doing?
How
many Apple chargers do I have? That's awesome. I have like a whole
I love that you're talking to people. Do you have assistants? Do you have a staff now that you're talking to off screen?
I just looked up and I
just
had
brand new. Why do you have that?
Like a extra brand new USB-C Apple charger. That's nuts.
Are you going to auction it off?
No, I'm going to keep it in case I lose one of my other two.
Fantastic.
Anyway.
Fantastic. Did you have a good Father's Day? Yesterday was Father's Day. For those of us paying attention.
Yeah. Quickly before we get to that,
Yes, we've got other things to get to.
No, I just want to hearken back to something you said earlier.
Please do.
Well, because you mentioned it's Juneteenth.
It is Juneteenth. Which can I ask you this before you say what you're going to say? Mm-hmm. Were you aware of Juneteenth before, just a couple of years ago?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. Neither was I.
Mm.
And that doesn't diminish it. I think most people were not aware of it.
Most white people, no. And I think there was an undereducation of
Yes.
people of our demographic. Like, cause I just, it's like
Yeah.
I don't feel bad because like if I didn't learn it, it's not my fault. I didn't know.
Right.
But on that note, so I know that on Memorial Day, you don't say Happy Memorial Day because that's not a
Right.
happy holiday, right? So
Correct.
someone at one of my coworkers today said, and I know this is probably not right or correct or appropriate. I know that this is what I want to ask. The coworker said Happy Juneteenth, which I don't think is I don't think that's what you're supposed to say, but I'm curious if anybody watching this knows like what because I want to recognize it, right? Like I feel like you and I
Correct.
should be
Yeah.
like, we'd like to
No,
recognize that
it's a big deal.
today is a right, but I want to do it respectfully and make sure that we don't. So I'm not going to stand here and say like happy that day, but let's acknowledge it. But I don't know the words. I don't have the right words. I guess we can Google
I
this.
just appropriate. I just say Happy Juneteenth according to the internets. Similar to
Really?
Black History Month and other important anniversaries to Black Americans, it is important to acknowledge it as an American holiday, even if you do not celebrate it. So, according to Parade.com, they just are how to say Happy Juneteenth. They just say Happy Juneteenth. That's it. So, Happy Juneteenth.
But nmpoliticalreport.com, New Mexico politicalreport.com.
New Mexico, very close to Texas, by the way.
Hmm.
Just so you know.
Well, this is from apparently an African-American gentleman because it says,
Okay.
actually, I, along with many others of the Black community, so I guess that, and there's a
Sure.
picture. The author seems to be a person with Black heritage. Would rather you don't offer a meaningless pleasantry and instead quote Gil Scott Heron, who said, the government you have elected is inoperative to begin your acknowledgement of your current and historic cruel treatment of Black humanity. Wow. Okay, so the government you have elected is inoperative. I will go with that because I will happily admit that our government is inoperative at most times. So
yeah, that seems like a lot. I get it. What he says is not inaccurate.
sure.
I don't see me memorizing a paragraph to say to my neighbor something. I just, my neighbors were having a little I think it was a combination Juneteenth Father's Day party yesterday because some of the people were wearing Juneteenth t-shirts and stuff. And, we exchanged pleasantries and we happy Father's Day to the guys. And that's it. Because like to me, that would seem patronizing to go, hey, man, happy Juneteenth. I'm aware of why people had the day off today. I'm aware of you know what? I learned it from the show Atlanta and Watchmen. That's how I learned about you. That's how I also learned about the massacre in the Tulsa massacre.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I not learn any of this in school? I've gone through. I know how, but it's infuriating.
Right. Yeah.
It's infuriating that I didn't learn it. I'm because Debbie was the same. We were like, I watched Watchmen, and I said to her, "Hey, did you ever learn about this Tulsa massacre?" And she was like, "No, what is it?" And I tell her, she's like, "Oh my God, no." I go, "Yeah, it's a big part of history, and Juneteenth. Our American history lessons stopped at Lincoln freed the slaves. Yeah, we didn't know that there were still slaves 3 years later, and finally, finally the army got there and went, "Hey, you guys, you've been free for a while. You can go on about your business."
Yeah, America, I've read many places, is actually one of the most heavily propagandized nations on the planet, which sounds about right to me.
I think I would be hard pressed to think of a government that does not deal in propaganda. I don't think any government on the face of this planet tells its people the truth all the time. They tell us what they think we need to know because there's enough people. And I think this is changing, thankfully. I think there's enough people willing to live in ignorance and just be like, well, I don't know. I didn't see it. And not get mad. They go, I didn't know about Juneteenth. Oh, well, I don't need to know about it now. Well, now you know it exists. How about you just, I don't know, read like one account of it. Just know the basic facts. And then you go on with your business. Okay? So you learn something. I know it's hard for people because it hurts your brain sometimes to learn stuff, Cody. You know, our brains are full of all kinds. I got so much useless garbage up in my head. Do I want to put real facts in there? I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I enjoy a fact here and there because then I can pull those facts out once in a while and seem like I'm an enlightened, educated man.
That's fair. That's mostly fair. I'll caveat that a little bit.
Please do.
From what I understand, we're going down a dark rabbit hole here, right? But the way that Germany addresses the Holocaust pretty head on, I believe it's like it's illegal to deny it in Germany. And, in America, there's people that deny a lot of stuff.
There's like what? Who would deny things? What are you talking about? I can't believe anybody would deny any big historical thing. I think the difference between them having to be so forthcoming about the Holocaust and America being able to push some things under the rug is because Juneteenth didn't cause a world war. There's some things that we were able to do in secret and in the darkness to keep a lid on that. You couldn't keep a lid on the atrocities of Germany in World War II. There was no way because the whole world was involved. Here it was, well, it's just us. Don't tell anybody. Keep it in the family. It's like domestic abuse to the nth degree. We didn't just abuse our one partner. We abused a whole bunch of people, but we kept it on the DL here, within our borders. But once stuff starts getting out, like our treatment of the Native Americans or all the whole, slavery, which a lot of countries were also doing it. So they weren't going to cast aspersions.
Sure.
They're complicit. So they're not going to make a big stink. They're just going to let it roll. And that way we're able to keep it. We're going to push it down.
That's fair. But look, 2 weeks away from America's Independence Day, Brian, I got to come in hot.
I'm not blaming you. I don't think we're disagreeing on a lot of this.
Pull out the socialist tattoo. I'm going to get a socialism flag tattoo on my body.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Is there a socialist flag?
I don't think there is. But what if there was one?
What if you just made it up?
Oh.
And then people go, man, that's rad. And everybody just started copying it.
I'm sure there's a socialist flag. I'm sure it's really poorly designed.
There's a lot of them.
A lot of poorly designed flags, or
there's a lot with the hammer and sickle. Then there's the one with the big libertarian socialist flag.
What do you
think? I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Social experiment, Brian. What do you think would happen if
There's the big socialist flag there, Cody.
That one's pretty cool looking, actually.
It's not a bad looking flag. I don't know. I don't know if you want to be the guy with all that happening, but
social experiment. What do you think would happen if I flew a hammer and sickle flag on the flagpole mount on my porch? Like what would happen?
Well, let's see.
Would someone shoot us? We'd get shot, wouldn't we?
I don't know if you'd get shot. I think you'd be ostracized. I think your son would bear the sins of the father for many, many years.
Okay.
I think the fact that the Soviet Union has now waged a meaningless invasion of the Ukraine would put you on a side of history that you probably don't want to even joke that you're on. But who am I to say? What do I know?
It wouldn't be the Russian flag.
I fly a Sox flag on the north side. I don't know. What does that mean?
Let me be clear. I was not going to hang a Russian flag. I was just going to hang one of the variations of socialist flag that happened to feature a hammer and sickle.
Well, the hammer and sickle is,
closely associated.
It's like well, I'm going to hang a fascist flag that's similar to the swastika. It's not really the swastika. It's got a swastika on it, but I'm not a Nazi by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm just going to hang that outside the house. I probably would not be able to visit because the paparazzi tails me nonstop, and I don't want to be associated with that kind of foolishness.
The Razzo. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Try it and see how long before, before some retired veterans that live in your neighborhood come around, before there's a lot of human and animal feces thrown at your house.
Excuse me. We have fought on the same side as many very nice, friendly socialists. We don't always fight against. They're not the bad guys.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Know.
This. Well, remember that time you asked me?
Are you from one of those countries, those socialist countries? Is your heritage from that one of those countries?
No, but my hair might be.
Your hair is very, very socialist because it does whatever it wants. It's.
Remember that time you asked me how my Father's Day was, and then we ended up talking about.
I like this better. I like the positive one. I want to see where you're going to get this flag. That's very exciting to me.
That'd be Amazon.
You can get one on Amazon.
Yeah.
Are you or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party, Cody? Ooh. I'm the Joseph McCarthy of this podcast.
Communist Party sounds made up. Is this Communist Party in the room with us right now, Brian?
No, have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's real. It's all.
Are you saying it's fake news?
Everyone's imagination. Totally fake news. Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I'd like to say, yeah, you could probably get a socialist flag on Amazon.
I'm guaranteeing you right now. I would put money on the fact that you like.
How much money? How much money are you going to put on it?
Socialist flag Amazon, $5. I know. There. Look at that. Amazon. There's hundreds of results.
Really?
They've got the two-butt Democratic Socialists of America banner, the United Socialist States of America
flags.
Wow,
they do. They have a ton of them. Holy cow.
There's the Russian flag. There's the Libertarian Socialist
You know
flag.
what? The two-butt Democratic Socialist flag, you could hang that, and I guarantee nobody would know what it meant.
True.
Because it looks like it's a white hand and a black hand shaking, and there's a rose. That looks great.
Mm-hmm.
So that one looks good.
Yeah, you can buy
I also like the Libertarian Socialist flag is cool looking.
It is.
And I bet nobody would know what it meant. So those you could get away with and have your inside joke.
What about the United Socialist States of America flag, which replaces the stars with a hammer and sickle with 50 stars around it, and the flag is red and white stripes?
If you were living in Texas and you laid that on your lawn with a sign that says "Pee here," you would be the hit of your neighborhood. Because that's the lefties, the socialist lefties, are the ones that have ruined this country, according to everybody else.
Hold on, Sally's saying communist and socialist are two different things. Hang on now, that's not what I heard from the Texas legislature. I actually heard that communism and socialism and fascism and anarchy are all the same parts of the radical left, the far radical woke left, and so all those are synonymous. You're
right. That's what I heard. That's what I heard too.
Straight from the Texas.
I'm backing you up.
Legislature. I don't make the rules.
Yeah, we just go by what we read, what we're programmed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, see if there's an anarchist socialist flag. I don't know. Here's the one you need to get, Cody. It's a black flag with the American flag in the middle, with the Statue of Liberty and some American service people superimposed on the American flag, and then it says, "If you're offended, I'll help you pack." That's what you need. That's what you need to put outside. That is, oh my goodness. Or the flag that says, "I am the descendant of men who would not be ruled."
See, if I were into sports, I could just hang a sports flag, but I don't watch sports.
Oh, I have yeah. Are you mocking me?
No, you like we have a flag mount, and we've talked to it before many times, my wife and I, about what should we hang there because we don't want to fly an American flag. Which also, like,
Hmm.
it's kind of weird that people even do that. Like, I mean,
Really?
I get that it's an expression of your patriotism, I guess, but like, I don't. There are actually countries you go to where people don't like decorate by flying their country's flag. Like, who's gonna
Yeah.
forget you're in America? I don't know. It's not that cool of a flag. It's fine. It's
I
like
f-
it's
I put the flag out on 4th of July, because that's, part of the thing. There's a few other days that I'll put like usually Memorial Day, I'll put the flag out, or and 4th of July, just a couple times a year. But yeah, and there's a part because I don't do it because it's not like my regular thing where I'm like, hey, look at me, I'm America. It has a little more meaning for me. I mean, anybody driving by might go, oh, look at this crackpot, got his flag out, doesn't remember he's an American. Hell, I don't remember what I had for lunch today, so that's not a good burn on me that I don't remember I'm an American. But so when I put it out, it's I like it. There's something about it. The couple days that I have it hanging outside that I like. It's not out on a random Tuesday. It's out on days that mean something. But see, that's why we're in America, Cody. So you don't have to fly the flag. You have the choice to not. That's a beautiful thing.
I actually let that freak flag fly.
Right on.
How was your Father's Day, Brian?
Good. I was just gonna. I'll get to. I just. You can fly all. We have a million kind of decorative flags. You can fly all kind of fun flags that outside your house. Like we have some for all the holidays. We have a fun flag. Like a Halloween flag or a Thanksgiving flag or a random fall flag. You just put them out there for seasonal. We had a few summertime flags. We got a couple. We got a really cool Halloween one in New Orleans. So it's got a little Halloween vibe to it, and a big Christmas one with a gator on it for Christmas. So different kind of things. But you could do those kind of flags.
All right.
Or get your yeah. Do me a favor. Get that one that says if you're offended, I'll help you pack, and hang that outside your house. Or again, the Democratic Socialist of America flag, because I guarantee nobody will know what it is, and it looks like you're just uniting everybody. It looks like a flag of love and peace, and you'd be subverting the rest of your neighbors.
Love subverting neighbors.
Be subversive, Cody. That's what you should be. Very subversive. I'm realizing I am boring as hell. My life is boring as hell now.
Why?
Because I don't do anything exciting, really anymore. Because gas has it, so I don't want to leave the house. People
That's
have
not
it.
the gas that makes
People have it, so I don't want to leave the house. Let's be honest. Every time I leave the house, I'm infuriated, and I'm making my wrist worse by banging on the horn or the steering wheel. So it's probably better. Father's Day. Well, Father's Day started out. Oh my God, what a chore. The first half of my Father's Day was a living nightmare. It was from about 7:50 to 2:00 was just a day that will live in infamy, if I can paraphrase FDR.
Please paraphrase FDR early and often.
I think I just did because we had a toddler in our home.
Oh.
Yeah, this kid, he's, I don't know, he's like 16 months, 18 months.
21 months.
21 months. He's months old. He's not even double years yet. He somehow appeared at our house on Friday, and then he was here till Sunday afternoon. And so, yeah, it was.
Did he each had a house and home?
Well, I had to make eggs and toast 2 days. I had big breakfast that I don't usually make 2 days. But it was fun making breakfast. And then Father's Day ended with my wife and daughter getting bringing in barbecue from a place that we love. And after we ate, I got such horrible stomach pains that I ended up going to bed I don't know if it was Debbie went out and got me Gas X today because my stomach was hard. I was in pain. I couldn't, it was just, I don't know what happened. So that's how it ended. That's it. That's how it's like, this is how it started. This is how it ended. It started with me making eggs and toast. And then it ended with me going, oh, I got to go to bed. My stomach hurts. So that was, but so we talked about this last week that your son was coming to hang out with us. He was coming to stay with us for a couple days while you went, I don't know where you were going, some couple swap thing, a swingers party. Where were you going?
Texas.
You were going to
party.
Texas. You were going because you wanted to succeed at marriage.
I did, and let me tell you, that was not what happened.
No,
Ooh.
Not good, huh?
Yeah, boy, everything's bigger in Texas, including the lawsuits. I was at a wedding downtown Chicago at the lovely Allegro Royal Sonesta Hotel next door to the Cadillac Palace Theater.
Very nice. I think I've gone into their lobby to use the restroom.
It's a very nice lobby restroom.
It is. It goes, you got to go up and then you go sneak in the back by the bar. There's a restroom that's open.
Yes.
It's very nice. Now hopefully they don't hear this and go, we got to lock that bathroom. So I'm always dressed up when I go in there. So I look like I blend, so it's like, oh, I'm not some derelict off the street.
Yeah.
Plus I never asked where it was. I just kind of intuited where the bathroom was. So you had to you went to some event on Friday that your lovely bride did not attend with you.
Yeah, she was, she had something going on. It was a pre-wedding cocktail, like wine and cheese hour hosted by the hotel. Just in the hotel lobby, room adjacent to the hotel lobby. You just went and there was a little open bar there and you just get cocktails and wine and cheese for a couple hours the night before the wedding. I think for the out-of-towners.
Yes.
Great idea, by the way, for anybody not married.
Yeah, if you got to have something for the out-of-towners.
Yeah, I mean, we did it ours, but I think it was more after the wedding. But I think like just having a chill cocktail hour where some of the people who will be at the wedding are there, like you end up talking to more people. And so at the wedding, I ended up knowing twice as many people, which made it a lot more fun. So cool. It was cool. It was very clutch, as the kids say.
Yeah, because you had something after your rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then you had your big sword wielding reception.
Yeah.
Which was fun. We had a big like hospitality suite at our wedding. So like the night before and after the rehearsal, everybody who was staying at the hotel could just come in. And we did that at my brother Dennis's wedding too, where all the out-of-towners could come in. There was beer and pop and, deli stuff. And people could just hang out and enjoy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good idea. So that was Friday because you texted me that your wife was handling drop-off duties and that you would not be around. So your son shows up. He was dropped off by your wife. He didn't just show up. Like he didn't take the bus. Ooh, that's a big bus. He did not take the bus, but he showed up. And I have the utmost respect for your lovely bride. She started to make and this is okay. She was making the first-time parent mistake when you're dropping off a kid of trying to get too, oh, I'm going to miss you. I love you. I'll see you later, which you can't do because the kid's going to lose their mind. So she said goodbye, and I could see he was starting to get a little antsy. And so I got out of the chair, and I was like, hey, young boy. I go, come look, let's see what the dog's barking at. And then I kind of gave your wife the high sign, like, it's time to skedaddle. And she did. And you know how long your son cried? Not at all.
As much as you went outside today.
Not even that much. I went outside for a minute. He didn't cry. He didn't cry at all. He was fine. The kids, I've said this before, the kid's got a lovely demeanor. There's no doubt about it. And he can hold his mud. That kid didn't poop for 2.5 days. It was very nice of him.
Till a half hour after we showed up. That
was it. Because we gave him every opportunity. I fed him nothing but greasy food. You and your wife were kind enough to send a schedule and some dietary notes, like when he eats and what he usually eats. And so I was able to disregard all of that. We watched nothing but Fox News and ate deep fried foods. And then I gave him a couple sips out of my whiskey just because he was getting antsy. And
Yeah.
so I gave him a little something and he calmed right down. And then by the end of the week, he was like, he was calling my neighbors wacko lefties, which was fun. So, but
Incredible.
he like, so he came and he sees our dogs and he's like, oh, dog. And he's talking much more. Well, he's talking much more and he also has more words that are understandable. So it's a nice combination because he's got a lot to say. And now we can understand 70 to 90% of it, which is good, and he's very happy. He seems happy most of the time, which is makes taking care of him easy. So Friday night, he comes over and I said, your wife, I'm going to grill some hamburgers. Does he eat them on a bun? I don't know how 18 months olds eat. I don't know if they go double with cheese and the animal style. I don't know how your kid eats a hamburger. So she's like, no, and I have to remember that he's not 2 yet. So it's like, okay, I cut the half a hamburger up and we give him I baked a few fries. I give him a few. He loves French fries. I will say for a kid who is just tall, he doesn't have, he loves carbs. That kid,
dude,
man.
Tonight he ate 2 burritos. And this was this was within an hour of bedtime. So at bedtime, he's still got a big thing of milk. I don't know, man. He eats as much as I do sometimes.
Well, I didn't want to overfeed him, I didn't want to underfeed him. We supplemented everything with, I'm very proud of us, supplemented it with vegetables and fruits. Yes. So he had his half a hamburger. He had some chunks of cheese. He had some French fries. He was a little worried about the ketchup. Wanted ketchup. Didn't quite know what to do with it, but that was fine. He was learning. Grapes. He loved the grapes. He had some cauliflower and carrots. He was having a good time. And so Friday night was pretty easy because then it was basically time to go to bed, right? He's on a schedule. So, and you guys have kept him on this schedule, and you can tell because it works. It works great. Because at about 7:15, 7:20, it's like, hey, you ready for your milk? And he gets his milk, microwave for 3 minutes, so it's piping hot, and which seemed odd to me, but I was following your instructions. Things boiling. I'm like,
3 minutes.
Can a kid drink boiling milk?
There was an extra 0 in there. It's supposed to be 30 seconds. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Well, we never microwaved Molly's milk. She turned out fine. So he loves his warm milk. And then I would sit in the big chair like Santa, and he would sit in the crook of my arm. And I'm a good reader. I do the voices. I have the nice intonation. I have the calming tone when I'm reading the Dr. Seuss sleep book.
Very calming.
I get it all.
That book is endless. That's like 50 pages.
And we just read it. And I read Corduroy more now than I have in my entire life. Learned all about the bear and his missing button and the mattress and the security guard and the whole deal. And by that time I could feel him just, the milk's done and the story's about over. And he has now become just a sack of 18-month-old human. There's no more stress. He's so relaxed. And I'm like, I'm envious and furious. I'm like, I can never relax like this.
Right.
And I made sure that Debbie was like, oh, here are all the books. And there were some books on trucks. I'm like, we're not playing that game. We're not playing the truck book game before bed. We'll read about trucks tomorrow because he still loves all his vehicles. He went right to bed. Boom. No problem. Goes to bed, gets up the next morning. Again, I'm envious and furious. Wakes up happy, full of energy, talking. He's talking to his bears. He's talking. And so finally we let him talk for a few minutes and we go in. He'd slept till after 8:00. I was like, man, this is perfect. And we're, he walks in and then he starts talking a mile a minute. He's got a million things to say that he's been storing up overnight. And Debbie and I are like, oh, that's great. And, and then he loves to he treats his teddy bears horribly. One of which is yours, I guess. Mr. Brown?
Yeah, Mr. Brown, my childhood teddy bear. He's one of his 2 companions now.
Yes, Mr. Brown and Nunu. and he treats them with complete disrespect. It's a real weird that he's like violent to them and then loves them. It's that weird kind of domestic violence situation going on. Because he throws Nunu, and he's very excited when he throws Nunu. Ha ha ha! I throwed Nunu, and I'm like, oh, what happened to Nunu? And I pick him up and I pretend Nunu talks to me because maybe Nunu does. You don't know. You don't know what's happening. And then Mr. Brown, then he throws Mr. Brown, and oh no, and so. But we had a great time. We went to the park, and he walked. City blocks are pretty long. He walked almost 2 blocks and talked to Debbie the entire time. He talked. I don't talk to Debbie, so she's not used to having, a lot of chit chat. And, oh man, I was behind them pushing the empty stroller, and he was just going off. That car, he loves the vehicles. And when we got to Oak Park Avenue and there were some big trucks coming by, forget about it. Big semis, hauling, they've got the semi with all the stuff on it and then a forklift on the back. Oh, that was great. And the park is right next to the train tracks. So as he's on the swings and stuff, 3 trains go by. He was in heaven. And one of the climbing things at the park is shaped like a giant train. So he's like, go in the train? I go, yeah, go in the train. He'd climb up and then he'd slide down the slide. He was having a ball. And Debbie and I are both thinking, how long do we stay? You know how long we stay? Till he calls the shots. He walks over to the stroller and he goes, all done. Okay, we're all done. And we put him in the stroller, walked back home. He ate some lunch. He took his nap. Then we set up that crazy elephant sprinkler pool jobber. Now, by this time, Walter has shown up too. So now we've got 3 dogs and a toddler.
That's a madhouse right there.
There was, I don't know what was going on, but it was all working out because your son likes our dogs and our dogs like your son. Walter doesn't like anybody, but he liked your son and he likes us. So he would just walk up. And for some reason, Walter was the name that your son was able to memorize right away. He would, like, if we said our dogs' names, Lawson or Gidget, he would say them, but he'd call them dog most of the time. But Walter, he'd call Walter. Oh no, Walter, where are you going, Walter? Why is Walter barking? What's going on with Walter? I don't know what's going on with Walter. So at one point, your son and Walter were both in this pool. Your son's in the pool splashing around. Walter's in the pool splashing around. Debbie's got her feet in the pool, kicking water at Walter, and they had a ball. So then I cooked dinner. He ate dinner Saturday night. He went right to bed. Sunday he wakes up. He was a true boy on Sunday though. Sunday, man, he had boy destruction energy, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. He was slamming the cars together. He was running around. He was jacked up. I go, what are we having for breakfast? Eggs and toast, eggs and toast, eggs and toast. I was like, all right, we're having eggs and toast. And he had a good time. And then we went out to the pool again, and he was having fun with the dogs and having fun in the pool. And then you guys came, and he cried for the very first time.
Oh, immediately. As soon as he sees mama.
Yeah, he saw you guys were there. He was still napping. You heard him get up. You two went upstairs, and he started crying. And I'm like, he did not shed one tear, because anytime Mama or Dada would come up, we go, oh, they're at work. And he would go, oh, Mama's at work, Dada's at work. Okay. And we'd be doing something else. There wasn't, not that he forgot about you, because he didn't, but he didn't care because he was having fun.
Yeah.
He saw you guys. Oh, he starts crying and he's being real shy and he won't talk to us and he's not looking at the dogs. And Molly was here and he wouldn't say it. And I was like, this is not how the weekend went. But it was exactly how it always goes, because Molly was the same way. I'm sure most people's kids are the same way. I will say, 1, he's welcome anytime because he's a joy. 2, at one point Saturday, we were so tired that we abided by your rule. You don't give them a lot of screen time. And you're sending them to a house where screen time is like our lifeblood.
Sure.
But I think we watched 5 minutes of the news on Saturday morning We didn't watch the news. We had music on in the house. It was lovely. We had music on in the house. I sliced up apples with our breakfast, which I had never done before. And I was like, why haven't we been eating apples with our eggs and toast? Your son comes over. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm slicing up fruits. We're cutting up cherries. Grapes rather. He's eating grapes and apples. And I'm like, why aren't, I got to keep this up.
Yeah.
But so Saturday afternoon, after we had done the pool and the park and everything, Debbie was like, we're going to do like 20 minutes of Winnie the Pooh, which was on the approved list.
Sure.
We could watch a little Winnie the Pooh. That's fine. 15 minutes, we'll all watch Winnie the Pooh. Debbie sits down in the big chair with your son. I sit down on the couch. Next thing I know, it's a half hour later, and Debbie and I had fallen fast asleep, and your son was just sitting in the chair, almost asleep, going, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. But he was tired too, so everybody just kind of clunked out. The dogs were all asleep. We were all asleep. The whole house needed that 30-minute. We're going to shut things down for a little bit. We got to reconfigure how this is going, and then it went fine. But now I'm sure when you saw him crying, you thought, "Oh no, where did we leave him this whole weekend? What could possibly have gone wrong?"
No, my first thought was, oh, this again. Okay.
Because you do that at your mom and dad's house too?
He does it at my house. Like if my wife was left early one morning to go do a thing. So when he woke up, I went into his room. Every morning I hear his door open and then I hear my wife giggle and then laugh. And then he yells, "Oh no," and throws his stuffed animal and starts talking. Every morning I hear this from the confines of my room where I'm still asleep because they both wake up before me every morning. And then she's gone this one morning. I open his door. I look, he goes, "No," throws his body down on the ground and won't look at me, like huddling from me. I walk over, I open the blinds. I'm like, "Good morning. How's it going?" And then he goes, "Mama, mama, mama," and then starts crying. So I pick him up to try and hold him and comfort him. He throws himself out of my arms, drops to the floor like a ninja, and then speeds around the corner into my bedroom looking for my wife. That's where I'm at. And also a lot of times I'll be hanging out with him on like a Sunday or sometime when she's teaching yoga, and he'll be fine. He's chilling. He's playing with cars and trucks. She walks in the door and it's the same thing. I'm just going to start crying and weeping and not being okay with you not holding me or not letting you, whatever. And we're not enablers. She's not an enabler by any means. Like we don't.
No, he seems very, well adjusted.
Yeah, as almost 2-year-olds go, right? But like if he's yelling up in the kitchen or screaming and just reaching up and she's cooking, she's like, "Dude, I'm cooking. Like, stop." Whatever. So it's not that, but he's got this mom thing. Because it's not like a mama's boy thing. It's just like a weird.
Well, he's a baby.
He'll grow up.
Yeah, he's fine. And it's funny. There were a couple times over the weekend when he needed some affection because he would just, other than sitting in our lap or whatever, he went up to Debbie a couple times and just had her lift him up, and then she'd hug him, and then he was fine. He did that to me one day in the kitchen. Saturday, he came in and he just put his arms up, and I lifted him up. I gave him a hug, and then he was like, done, and he was down. He was running off to do his thing, and it was like, all right, well, he got what he needed. Yesterday morning, Debbie, it was 10 to 8, and my alarm was going to go off at 8, and Debbie shakes me and she goes, "I need your help. The baby's waking up, and I got the dogs." And I was like, okay. And she went in, and I heard him start to like that pre-cry kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And from my room, I went, "Is that?" And I said his name. I go, "What is going on?" And then he started laughing because he heard me, and I walked in, and then it was, "I'm going to throw everything, and I'm going to talk, and I'm going to laugh." And, I'm super, because we realized he got up earlier because he was soaked.
Oh, diaper.
He was soaked. Oh, you're supposed to put a diaper on him?
Oh, yeah, that's the problem.
Could have been a problem.
You raised a girl, so you don't know about the water fountain effect. But it's
yeah. No, his diaper was crazy full. So I would have woken up too. He had been asleep. He had been asleep since like 7:45 the night before. So he made it 12 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And he was happy because what I love is he's at that age where he'll repeat everything you say, good or bad. So I hope he's giving you some of the phrases I tried to teach him all weekend.
Well, he gave me one when he was on his changing pad a couple hours ago. I grabbed something, went to grab a shirt, and he just drops the F-bomb. Clear as a day. Like, did no ambiguity. Like
that he did. You'd be so proud. He didn't learn that here because I did not swear the entire weekend.
Nice.
I did not when he was around. I did not. So he didn't learn that from me. That he got from his father or his mother or his grandfather. Probably his grandmother. I'm guessing. Your mom's very sweet, but I got to feel she's got a dark side.
I don't know. She doesn't swear pretty much at all.
As far as you know.
As far as I know.
As far as you know in private, she's mad. She's got the mouth of a sailor. Just sitting around the house, not at anybody in particular. Just likes to say it. Likes the sound of the words.
Well, I thank you again for watching them. But part of me, having seen the photos of when I wasn't there, I am pretty sure your wife enjoyed it more than it was like the highlight of her month.
We both enjoyed it quite a bit. It was, it was tiring. We haven't done this in a long time.
Well, sure.
And it was exhausting. Yeah, no, again, if he were a jerk, it would not have been as much fun. But he's not. He eats. When it's time to eat, he eats. When it's time to sleep, he sleeps. When it's time to play, he's playing. He listens. Like he's got this school bus that's made of wood. Probably the most dangerous toy I've ever seen for a kid who's not even 2. The school bus weighs about 18 pounds. Yeah. This school bus that he has, and he swings it around. And a couple times he almost hit the dogs, and we're like, "Oh, you can't throw your school bus," and he was like, "Okay," and so he didn't throw the school bus anymore. Now, if he had taken that school bus and began hitting the dogs, he would not. I wouldn't be like, "Hey, you can come back anytime." I go, "Man, that kid's a pain in the ass." But so yes, we both enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it quite a bit. It was after he left. I'm not going to lie. I sat on the deck and had a beer and a cigar and didn't really talk to anybody for a while. Debbie and Molly were down by the pool with Walter, who had now taken over the pool because your son wasn't there, so Walter had the pool all to himself. And Molly was treating him like a 2-year-old human boy instead of a 2-year-old dog. So I just got to sit. I listened to some yacht rock, which I introduced your son to. Introduced him to some classic country too the other day. So he listened to some classic country. He listened to yacht rock. And yesterday during Eggs and Toast, I was like, "Do you say yacht rock?" Yacht rock. I go, "Okay. When you get in the car with your mom and dad, say yacht rock." But then he started saying to Debbie and I'd go, "Say rock." Yeah. So yes, we enjoyed music. We enjoyed a little Winnie the Pooh. We had a good to Debbie. Debbie was going to be a hero and just stand by the pool. And I said, "How about I get you a chair? Then you could just sit with your feet in it." No. 3 minutes later, "You could get me that chair." Yeah, okay, we get you a chair. No shame in sitting in a chair with your feet in the kiddie pool. That sounds like a good idea.
I did say to them on my way out when you were helping my wife load the car, I did say, "Well, enjoy whatever you're doing for Brian for Father's Day. I'm sure it'll be super fun. I'm sure he'll pretend that he didn't enjoy it." And or some joke like that, which they thought was pretty hilarious.
And very accurate.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
I've heard about every Father's Day you've had, Brian, for 15 years.
I know. It's
That's
weird.
Crazy.
Isn't it? I got my piece of quiet yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
This is what we know.
I got my piece of quiet because after you guys left, and my piece of quiet doesn't have to be where nobody's around. Because like I said, Debbie and Molly were just off the deck in the yard. And I just sat on the deck and I had a beer and I had a piece of quiet. And I was like, "Oh, this is what it's all about." And then then Debbie had gone and gotten the dinner and it was really good. Even though whatever happened, it didn't agree with me, but it was real good. And Molly was like, the big part of your present didn't come. I ordered it in plenty of time and they didn't tell me till 2 weeks after I ordered it that it was on back order. I'm like, That's all right. Don't worry about it. She got me, but she gave me a SIU bottle and a Tulane hat, and then whatever this mystery thing is. So it was great. Put the hat right on, so she knew I liked it. And yeah, it was fun. It was a great day. Did you guys do anything after you left here?
My wife made a very delicious shrimp dinner.
Ooh,
Was it an etouffee? What's an etouffee?
etouffee means smothered. So it's like in tomato sauce and different stuff, and you pour it over rice.
Yeah, we did that over quinoa.
Oh well,
That's
sure.
good. Yeah, well, shrimp etouffee. So
how'd the kid like it? Kid enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit, but no, we did that, and she watched wrestling with me. I told her. Well, I told her I actually had some project that I was supposed to work on, but I just was so dead from the wedding. I just sat there and hung out with her and my kid all day. And at the end of the day, I was honestly just like, I just want to sit here and not do anything. And she's like, great. And we hung out. And then I was like, I would love to watch wrestling with you from last week. She's like, that sounds great. So we put on wrestling, put together a composter that we're putting in our backyard.
Oh, okay. One of those big like bingo wheels?
Yeah, bingo wheel thing.
What are you going to compost?
Food?
I don't know. I don't know much about. I know it's supposed to break down.
Yeah.
And then you use it as fertilizer. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. So what, you take out your banana peels and whatnot, or all your leftover food garbage?
Yeah. So some food garbage, nothing like animal related, nothing with fat. There's restrictions.
Okay.
Because if you put the wrong stuff in there, it will attract animals. You'll have legit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Your raccoon will have many friends.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll get bears.
Oh, that'd be pretty rad.
Or mountain lions. That would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
If you had a cougar in your backyard.
Would that raise our property value?
Would either raise it or lower it, because everybody around you would move out and there'd be a lot of abandoned homes next to the wildlife sanctuary that you've created with your compost wheel.
Oh, interesting. I'd have to petition the zoning committee, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
So.
Look into that. Look into your village highlights. So what are you going to fertilize? Are you starting a garden?
I'm too busy looking into my village. Idiots. Hi-oh.
Good.
What? I don't. Yeah, our garden. We got our vegetable.
Yes. What are you gonna use for your the compost for?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We got a vegetable garden. So the way I understand it works, my wife explained the science to some degree, Brian, is that when things decompose. No, I don't remember.
That was a horrible explanation.
I was going to say that.
I actually feel dumber. I feel like I know less about composting now.
Yeah. No, there's two halves, and you're supposed to put green stuff and brown stuff. Brown stuff is leaves, sticks, twigs, mulch, or not mulch. Yeah, basically kind of like wood chips, that kind of thing. That's the browns, and then the greens is like fruit peels and vegetables and fruit.
Can you put like apple cores in there?
Yeah, apple cores, stuff like that, little fruit byproducts, banana peels. So the two are in separate compartments, but I guess they mix up somehow. You spin it, you make sure it's roasting in the sun enough, and then it turns it into fertilizer somehow. And then we've got our vegetable garden, yes, but we've also got a bunch of flowers and stuff that I guess we'll use it to fertilize? ? So
you guys are like dirty hippies.
Man, we're trying our best. Our yard, you've talked about this. My yard is great, but a lot of the yard is beds, like mulch beds.
Yeah,
like a way like too much to maintain realistically. Weeding, weeding is impossible out here, and we're not gonna Windex it all up with the Roto Rooter. What's it called? The killing stuff, the weed be gone.
Oh, Roundup and stuff like
Roundup. That. No, we're not going to do that. My son eats mulch like it's eggs and toast.
Yeah.
So,
eggs and toast.
Yeah, we don't want it just creeping into other parts of the yard where we want to grow flower. None of that. So anyway, we gotta reduce the amount of mulched beds, but we want to plant a lot more flowers. So that's fertilizer, flowers, vegetables. It'll be great.
That's very nice.
Yeah. How do we get on that?
Well, we're talking about what you did for Father's Day. You built a composter.
Yeah, we did that and watched wrestling, and I was just real happy. And then we went to bed.
Nice. Look at that. See? It was a lovely Father's Day all around. You know, mine ended with me in agony laying in bed. Yours ended who knows what.
I actually couldn't sleep last night. I went to bed early. Really? We were both passed out. We were just like, we're wiped. We're going to go to bed at 10. got in bed at 10:30, did a Sudoku puzzle.
So you got your mind you got your mind all revved up.
Maybe it was too revved up with the numbers. It was an advanced puzzle, so it was hard, but I got too tired to just keep counting the numbers, and I was like, I'm going to bed. Put the thing down on my nightstand, hit the light, just lay there for like an hour and a half. And I was like,
No.
what? So I
Oh.
went in my wife's office / library. There's a little chaise lounge outside our bedroom. So I sat on that and I finished the Sudoku puzzle. It turns out I screwed it up and mixed up 6 of the numbers. Like an
Oh, son of
idiot.
a God.
I was actually pretty heated about it. And
no wonder you can't sleep.
of
You're putting
course,
all this competitive pressure on yourself.
oh man, well, I finished this dumb Sudoku puzzle. I failed at, and then I felt bad about myself. Then I went to bed, and then I fell asleep. So it was fine. It was
Sure, because the shame drove you to sleep.
I don't like wasting time, and I had spent a lot of time on this particular Sudoku puzzle. I don't know. So neither of us had a great night of sleep. Related.
The end to our Father's Day was not great.
Could have been
leading
better,
up to it was really nice.
Great beginning.
It was very, very nice. And one last thing on your son. I think he may have. You may want to do a 23andMe. He may have some sort of serpent blood in him, because he can unhinge his jaws and take the biggest bites of food that any human being and never choke. Never. He would wedge, and we cut like the piece of toast into quarters. He would jam an entire quarter of a piece of bread in, and then before he was done chewing, throw a couple pieces of sausage in there, because I'd cut up a little sausage patty and I was like, and Debbie and I were both terrified the whole time. Chew, and we show him what it looks like to chew, and he's like, I was like, I've never seen. I don't take bites that big, and I eat like I just got out of prison. It was amazing.
It's hilarious. I'll watch him eat all day. It's so funny. And I know I'm biased, but it's pretty hilarious just to watch him chomp down. And he does chew his food. I don't worry about it. Whatever. I make him scrambled eggs. There's, a heap of 2 eggs all clumped together. Just hand it to him. He's just like, you're right. He just shoves the whole thing in.
I was also amazed how well he does with utensils.
Yeah.
He's got his little kid fork and spoon. Just like it's like being in jail. They give you the one spoon and you got to hang on to it. He keeps his spoon. And he does very well with it.
Grip of steel. You get something in his hand, he doesn't want to let go. I mean, man, he's hanging on to it. He'll be sobbing. He'll be crying. He'll be like throwing his body on the ground. But if he's got a car in his hand, that car is there. It's part of his actual being at that point.
Yes. Are you thanking me every moment that I put new batteries in his ambulance?
Oh,
man. He calls it a fire truck?
It is a loud toy.
Loud. Yep.
Loud. Don't know who gave it to us, but we've got it. And
3 separate. What's nice is 3 separate sirens. There's 3 different buttons for 3 different sirens.
Yeah.
And he plays with that and that the world's deadliest school bus more than anything else. And at one point, the sirens were not working. And your son told me it's broke. I was like, oh, let me see. I was like, oh yeah, maybe it needs new batteries. You want me to fix it? Yes, please fix it. Put new batteries in it. Man, it's loud. It's louder than it was when it came to our house. It is loud. Enjoy it.
Really is. I appreciate that.
It had the weirdest batteries in it. Maybe you've never changed the batteries in it. It had some weird off-brand North Korean, because they had a picture of Kim Jong-un on them. They were weird North Korean batteries. I put in some good old-fashioned American Duracell copper tops. That thing's going to be loud for a long time. You're welcome. I was like, yeah, this will be nice. Because as soon as he hit it after the new batteries, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. It is so loud.
If that's what we have to pay for the luxury of 2 nights where we can sleep in if we choose to, then I will gladly pay that price.
Did you get all ripped up at the wedding because you got to stay downtown?
I didn't. I don't know, man. I got kind of tired from the alcohol. And then at one point, I was very full and I never really had a buzz, but you're kind of drinking, but then you're kind of full. Then I turned out I had taken like almost too much insulin. So I'm teetering on like almost being low. So I keep getting ahead of it by eating more. I'm like, well, I don't want to go low. So I better eat this fruit cup. I'm full. And then a minute later, I don't know. I should maybe eat another fruit cup. And so, then I got a totally full stomach. Food was delicious. And then I'm like, what do I drink? And I'm like, I don't want like a beer. I guess I'll get like a Jack and Coke because I'm in high school again. And I
Yeah,
have that.
that's
And
very teenage of you.
yeah, I don't know. It was my, I did not, I didn't like let loose like that. I got a little
Oh.
buzz at some point, but, no, I was played a
See,
pretty,
I figure you got a weekend away without, you'd go wild.
yeah, you know how it is.
Taking
You get,
PCP and smoking crack.
it's like as you get older, you actually appreciate things like sleeping
Yeah.
and not feeling like garbage in the morning, no hangover.
That's always
And
nice, isn't it?
yeah, you like having a reasonable time is a much better time than
Yeah.
trying to have a good time.
Well, because you're not 22 anymore. You don't need to,
Yet,
you don't need to party hardy
yet. I'm not
yet.
22 anymore yet.
Oh, sure. Then you'll hit that point where it's like, yeah, I'm 22. And they'll go, oh man, you are delirious. You are so crazy. There's nothing. Yes. Speaking of old man, I am doing what they called the Geezer Show at
The-
the Laugh Factory on July 10th. It's a Sunday night. I will plug it more as we get closer. But they asked me to do this show. Now they changed the name of it to the Early Bird Special, but it's old comics. That's why they called it the Geezer Show. And the guy asked me to do it, and I was like, sure, I'd like. He said, oh, a couple people recommended you. Would you like to do this show? And I'm like, sure. And thanks for reminding me of my advanced age by calling it the Geezer Show. So now it's the Early Bird Special. It's like it's 7:00 because guys like us, guys like me, I can't stay up past. I don't want to be out past dark in the city, even though I live in the city. This is I don't know where I'm going to park. It's a whole big thing. I'm already starting to panic about it. It's not till July 10th.
wow.
What I got to do? I got to go. I got to do 15 minutes. And it's funny because he asked me to do it. I say because he goes, it's 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's and I didn't expect to make a lot of money, but it's like LA showcase money. And I'm like, and he apologized because it's low. This is just the Laugh Factory out in LA. They just do, unless you're a big name headliner, they don't pay it. And if you notice, the Laugh Factory here in Chicago does a lot of these independent theme shows. So they don't have to pay, money. So, but it'll be a good time.
So you're saying it's not great pay?
No, not.
Oh, okay.
No. It'll barely cover my gas to get there and back.
It's
all right. But I'm going to I'll get a nice picture of myself on the Laugh Factory stage. And it's funny because I didn't work the LA Laugh Factory, but there was another, years ago, there was a Laugh Factory out in Aurora and I worked there all the time. That was the best club. I would kill there every time doing horrible material back when I was, not as good as I am now. And listen, I'm not, I'm not going to break the world, set the world on fire, but I'm better than I was back then. And I was killing back then. It was just a hot room. So this one will be fun. I've been there once. I don't know if I did time or I was just going to see somebody there. There was like a show. Yeah, I don't think I was going on. I think I was just there to see like Amy Guth and somebody else were competing in something. And I went there. It's a nice room. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so in case anybody was ever wondering, yes, I am old and I am a geezer. And now it's actually being foisted upon me that I'm doing this geezer show. I'm just going to go out and complain about my medical ailments the whole time.
Please do. I'd love
15
to see
minutes
that.
of me complaining and bitching about my health.
Yeah, I fail to understand the relation between the temperature of a room and your propensity to murder someone in it.
Here's the thing. I get cranky when I'm too hot.
Okay.
And so I am always prone to kill. If it's a cold room, I'm going to die because I'm going to freeze to death. But if it's a hot room, I get angry. And then I want to pick up a school bus and throw it at somebody.
Wow. Figuratively
and or literally. But in a nice temperate room, I just have nice cordial sex.
Wait, figuratively and or literally?
And or literally. Yes. If I could literally pick up a school bus and throw it at someone, I would. That would be my desire.
But you can't, and the or doesn't make any sense if you anyway. That was great. I really appreciated that.
Yes.
That was
And or I would do it either I would do it figuratively or I would do it literally. It's my choice.
Or both.
Sure, I could. 1 minute I could be doing it figuratively and then walk out and go, let me see if I can lift up the school bus. I can, by God, and I throw it at somebody, and then I will have done it literally. So I did it and or either way.
This just got amazing.
Love it. Listen, we love language. It's getting late.
What is that? Yes. Is that supposed to?
No, I listen. You're the guy who has you got a lot to do. You got things going on.
Tomorrow is going to be happening. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. There's a lot of work tomorrow. This is my first full week of work in 6 weeks.
Good Lord. Oh yeah, because you've been out gallivanting. You've been jetting off to see Sir Paul. I shared your story of getting emotional with the guys I was out with the other night because we were talking about Paul McCartney and Jimmy Pardo, the great Jimmy Pardo, who is the host of the Never Not Funny podcast, wildly successful, said he felt the same way as you did and got emotional after seeing Paul McCartney. Now, CB, the insatiable insomniac, who was there as well, we saw Paul McCartney together and we said we were affected by it, not brought to tears, but we were affected by it as well. So you were not alone in your outward display of emotion at seeing Sir Paul, whose birthday was just the other day.
It was, yeah. 80.
80 years old, still rocking it in the free world.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does in the communist world, but. And Debbie and Molly went to see the Chicks on Wednesday. Used to be the Dixie Chicks. Then they got canceled.
What?
So then, you can't say Dixie because that that triggers people.
Wait, does it?
Yeah.
I
can't say Dixie.
Know.
You can't say who was the other one? There was Lady Antebellum. Can't say Antebellum because it got people all upset.
Should we not be saying Dixie on this podcast?
We can say it as a way of telling people not to say it.
Oh, but what was it? I don't understand why is it offensive?
Because Dixie is what the Confederacy called themselves. And the Confederacy lost, and the Confederacy was responsible for, trying to succeed from the Union and keep slavery going.
Oh, it's just another word for Confederacy. Yeah. So it'd be like if they called themselves the Confederate Chicks. Well, that makes sense. I mean, Dixie's also a cup.
Sure it is.
So what are they going to do?
I don't know.
They're
going to stand tough. They're going to stand firm.
Are Dixie cups canceled? How am I supposed to wash my teeth?
Use a generic paper cup.
Brush my teeth, not wash it. I don't know why.
Why do you wash your teeth in a cup?
I don't know.
Are they sitting in a glass on your nightstand?
Wait a minute. It's called a Dixie cup because it was first called Health Cup, but from 1919 it was named after a line of dolls made by Alfred Schindler's Dixie Doll Company in New York. That has to be a coincidence on the Schindler thing.
I was going to say it can't be the guy with the list.
No, that would be outrageous. But
moved to New York, started making dolls.
I
saved people, then I made dolls.
Hold on, dolls. Because the thing with the dolls, it was named after a line of dolls. Where is this? There's no. This is not really the source on Wikipedia just links to a picture of a factory. This is terrible journalism. Terrible journalism.
Horrible. And you expected more from Wikipedia, the people's journalism? So yes, they went to see the Chicks, who I don't know. You don't know. The Dixie Chicks got in big trouble because they were in England years back and criticized then President Bush from stage, and then all the country stations here in America decided they weren't going to play the Dixie Chicks anymore because they were damn commie rebel lefties.
Yep, I remember that.
And they got canceled. So then a couple years ago, when there was big movements to take down Confederate statues and things like that, a lot of country bands who, used to have Confederate flags on their stages as a point of Southern culture had to reevaluate their place in the world. So the Dixie Chicks became the Chicks. Lady Antebellum, because Antebellum, was the post-slavery part of the South, which was not really post-slavery. They changed their name to Lady A. A lot of other bands had to drop all their stuff from the stage shows or their backs, their backdrops with the Confederate flags on them.
America's so weird. I saw T-shirts for the band Bullet for My Valentine, like the month after a Valentine's Day shooting. And these Bullet for My Valentine shirts were on a display in the middle of Hot Topic. I went to the mall. I was in high school or just outside of high school. And it's like, okay, I get it. But like, that's really close to home versus like the thing that's 100 years old. Not that I'm saying it's, but you know what I mean?
No, I get it.
It's a very similar level of offensiveness, I think, and
Yes.
lack of sensitivity on the political spectrum, probably much more directly given the like, I don't know, or maybe not. I don't know. It just, it's just one of those.
Well,
weird...
and considering the Dixie Chicks were very political in their, they were very liberal leaning in, and they were not afraid to share their politics and stuff. So, for them, it's like, we're three women from the South. That's why we were the Dixie Chicks. Oh, Antebellum is pre-war. That's right. Sorry, Marta. Yeah. So what's more offensive, calling your band the Dixie Chicks or running for Senate in Missouri and doing a commercial where you're carrying a shotgun and you have a SWAT team and you're going rhino hunting and you break into somebody's house and kill a Republican in name only?
Is that a commercial that aired?
It's happening right now. It's probably trending on your Twitter feed.
All right.
So what's more offensive? I'd say the latter, but who am I?
It's pretty offensive, actually.
Who am I? Because you're threatening to hunt down and kill people that you don't agree with politically. The Dixie Chicks just were called the Dixie Chicks, despite the fact that a lot of their activism was very anti what the South stood for back.
Not very Dixie at all.
Not very Dixie. They did not wish they were in the land of cotton. They wanted to have wide open spaces where the cowboys would take them away before they killed Earl But they said the concert was great. And then, so they see him on Wednesday, and this is weird. Then the Dixie Chicks had to cancel their concert on Saturday after a half hour. They started the show, and supposedly the singer was having vocal issues because of all the pollen and ragweed and stuff, and she couldn't sing. And so they left, and they issued tearful apologies and told everybody, hang on to your tickets. We're coming back. We're so sorry. We couldn't give you the show you deserved or that we wanted to give you. And so we had to go. So they saw the Chicks right at the right time. So
wow.
A lot of drama, a lot more knowledge about the Chicks than we needed. I don't know why. See, that's why I was talking now to circle back. I got all that useless Dixie Chicks information in my head. You try to put facts in there, something's got to give. So I got to make that decision. Do I want facts or do I want to know more? Now, granted, the Dixie Chick stuff is facts, but not important facts. Unless you're a Dixie Chick or on their road crew.
Kind of depends on who you talk to. Yeah, I would say a little bit, but that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah. So what else you got? Anything else?
No, you're the one that reminds me of what I tweeted about.
Yeah, that's good. Well, did you tweet? I think you tweeted that was it. That cost plus.
Nothing recent. Yeah, that was cool. The big WWE news we don't have to get into about
no, you got to tell me what
the investigation. The Vince McMahon investigation.
Yes, Vince. Now, all right. So he supposedly used WWE money for hush funds.
Yep, $3.5 million.
That's the allegation.
$3.5 million.
Now, you said you watched the other day. Did he go out this weekend and turn it kind of into a bit?
No.
Or address it? Or was it a work? What's going on?
For those who don't know the story, WWE chairman, CEO Vince McMahon, again, allegedly used WWE funds to pay hush money to a paralegal that he had been having an affair with. And nice. So that happened. And so he and WWE head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis, are both under investigation. While they're under investigation, Vince McMahon has stepped down as CEO, and his daughter Stephanie McMahon is going to become interim CEO.
Correct.
But Vince is still maintaining all creative control and final say on all creative decisions for the product. For those who don't know, Vince McMahon has micromanaged most of WWE's products for his entire life. He is on the road with the wrestlers all the time. I mean, he's a private jets, but you know what I mean. He's at every live Raw, and he is literally in the back calling shots, changing scripts last minute, making creative decisions, like having writers swerve and rewrite things completely at his whim. And he actually like is talking during the show into the commentator's ear to like tell them what to be saying.
Oh my God, I didn't know it was that much.
Oh yeah, no, it is the most. He has a massive. His tendrils are all over that company. So he literally, like, by stepping down as CEO, quote unquote, I don't know what that even means. Maybe he'll sign a couple less documents, but he's still going to be doing Raw. So that's already weird and strange. Vince is also like a very bizarre billionaire and super narcissistic. And he has a character in wrestling that is kind of this evil character, and he'll come out and be the big bad boss. So these allegations happen. He steps down, and they announce he's going to be on SmackDown Friday. Live on SmackDown. This stuff was announced Thursday, and it's like Vince says he'll be on SmackDown. So it's like, what the hell is he going to say? It's your point. The question was, will he turn it into a storyline? Will he lean into it? Will he go out and say, "Oh, I had an affair with somebody, but I'm a billionaire, so you can't touch me"? Like, he literally would do that.
Yes,
that is actually a very realistic thing Vince McMahon would do. Like, to the point where it was like what I thought would happen. Well, no, he walked out. He said WWE's logo or slogan is "Then, Now, Forever." So Vince McMahon walked to the ring, and apparently, I didn't watch the segment, but this is what all the sites I read about said. Apparently, he just walked in and said like something along the lines of, "I just want to remind everybody of the WWE's mission or values or whatever. Then, now, forever, and more importantly than anything else, together. Enjoy a great show." And he just like walked away.
What?
Which is also insane, right? And so, because like when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that guy is insane and could have said anything. So it was a nothing. Like, it was just it was a non-appearance that just was there to boost ratings, I guess, and confuse people. Or maybe get them talking. I don't know.
I was hoping he was going to turn it into a big thing and blow it off.
Oh, that would have been cool. No.
So what do you think? You think he did it? Of course he did it.
He absolutely did it. Just whether anything will happen, I think, is unlikely, because his wife was on the Trump board or whatever.
Part of the administration.
Chair people.
Yeah.
The secretary, whatever.
Now, is he going to? I heard something, and you correct me.
Trump's administration.
Yes, that Vince might sell to somebody else might take over because Triple H doesn't want to do it, or he doesn't want to, because Triple H was going to like legitimately take over the business, right?
Yeah. It's really weird. They got this CEO, Nick Khan.
Yes, that's the name. That's who I was thinking of.
Right, which is funny because All Elite Wrestling, AEW, which I watch, it's WWE's basically main competitor. Their owner is Tony Khan. But there's no relation. It just happens that two Khans now run the two largest wrestling businesses in North America.
What about their brother Ratho?
Which one?
Ratho.
Wrath of Khan? Oh, Wrath of Khan is well, he's really far away. You can really only get him on a view screen. It's hard to get him booked in person. Nick Khan joined WWE and did I think she's either chief of operations or something like that. He's really high up. And then, like, several months ago, Vince announced on a call that he would be taking over when Vince left Triple H. And no one actually knows why. Like, it seems Triple H kind of got screwed out of it because Vince is insane. I don't know. It's very weird. A lot of high drama.
All right. Yeah, it's a lot of family drama. Roger wants to know if the Bruiser is fighting tonight. Only if I come to your yard, Roger. We have a crack up with a couple old styles, and then we throw down right in your new lilac beds. Ooh. Roger's working harder in retirement than he did ever, I think, at any of his real jobs. Every day he's posted. He's breaking his back on this yard. It's got to look lovely. He's planting lilac bushes and putting down ties and mulching and building, and It's like, good Lord, take a break. You know, you're
I
about
would love to.
106 years old.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, one day we'll just drive by. We'll just drive by because he'll be sitting on the porch, and then we'll throw like water balloons filled with gin at him.
There you go.
Flaming gin-filled water balloons.
There you go.
Just to see what's happening. Marta said maybe I'm retaining facts about the Dixie Chicks because I think they're as hot as Liz Cheney. Now, I'm standing by my Liz Cheney is a handsome woman, and I think she's kind of hot comment. I ran that by our buddy Craig. He also dismissed me out of hand.
Okay.
But I'm standing by that. And let's be honest. The Dixie Chicks are attractive women. There's no two ways about it.
I think I was supposed to see Craig. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Look at my calendar.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That was 3 days ago. Were you supposed to see Craig 3 days ago?
Oh, man. That'd be awkward.
Oops.
We talked about dates because I was going to... We might be able to come see you maybe May 7th or May 14th.
Oh, boy.
Well, Brian, now we have June 20th.
It's June 20th. You were way off. Well, obviously he didn't care because he hasn't brought it back up.
I should probably follow up with Craig. Oh,
yeah. Let's do something in July.
I'm a bad friend. I want to see him. Just out of sight, out of mind, man. Got busy with family stuff.
Well, weren't you like every weekend? Weren't you busy?
June was nuts, dude. June I had no chance, but May I should have hit. It doesn't matter. I'll hit up. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we'll get him
I'm an even better dude since he summarily, as I did, dismissed you out of hand for that terrible Liz Cheney evaluation.
I disagree, but listen, whatever. That's fine. On that note, I got nothing else.
Yeah, we should wrap.
We got to go. Yeah, you got things to do. Thanks to everybody who's been commenting, who's been watching, who's been listening. Tell your friends. It seems like the audience is growing, which is nice. So tell your friends, follow us. Now that we're doing this on Monday nights live, the stuff goes out earlier in the week, so you can catch the podcast wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. They let us download ours too. So there you go. And once again, happy Father's Day to everybody. Roger, happy Father's Day. Cody, happy Father's Day. Roger restocked his garage fridge today. Nice. There we go. It's Cody taking. I don't know. Are you going to be taking time off for now? We have a long time before your next paternity leave. Are you taking time off?
Yeah.
Okay. From this too. Yeah. All right.
I literally, like, when I had a newborn, I did not want anything on my calendar.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, and we'll burn that bridge when we have to. All of those bridge analogies will be used. Until then, I'm going to go nurse whatever ailment that I have to nurse today, and see if the only thing I told you I'm going to see about the wrist tomorrow. The only thing I understood from the results of because I was reading the results of the CT scan, full tear in one of my tendons. That was the only thing that translated to English that I could understand. So we'll see. But for all the drivers out there, it'll be good because I won't be able to hammer on my horn anymore.
Nice.
So thank you for being here with us tonight. Cody, always a pleasure. Enjoy your polo shirts. You look quite managerial.
Thank you.
You look very, you look good. You look
golf.
Good. Tell your young son that, I've got buses and trucks and fire engines, and we'll hang anytime.
Oh, he'll be back.
I know he will. And
I can guarantee.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.